Hello everybody, this is Oro back for another, or I always do this. It's week 1 of the WPF Delta. It is my 3rd season and it is my first week of this season, and I'm very excited, but my opponent's team is pretty scary. I'm placing Roserade God, coach of the Las Vegas Rotoms, I believe. I'll put his YouTube channel down in the description alongside every other coach in the WPF. Here is his team. He has Tornadus Therian, which is a Terra Captain. He has Urshifu Single Strike, Tinkaton, Pecharunt, Hydrapple, Vaporeon, Donphan, Dunsparce, another Terra Captain, Gardevoir, Ampharos, which is another Terra Captain, and Ogerpon. Now, out of the team members that I see here, I could see him bringing the top 6 alongside Donphan, Gardevoir, and Ogerpon. I think those are kind of the main ones. I feel like the Dunsparce kind of only fills the same role as something like Pecharunt might, maybe Vaporeon as well, and I think they do it a little more favorably into my matchup here. I don't have a strong electric type or a strong psychic type really that like is immediately going to be threatening to Pecharunt or Vaporeon, and that's purely because Rotom is mainly going to want to come in and click like Volt Switch to really just get out of there, and Vaporeon can kind of tank that relatively well, and then fire off a Scold and maybe get a burn on something that's going to want to come in like Garchomp, Bramblegast, Bisharp. It's kind of like I could see Vaporeon being a little bit annoying, but I guess I can also see the understanding of like maybe not wanting to bring it, being that Rotom is like a primary threat for his team. That's why I believe he also could not bring Donphan, because a Hydro Pump from Rotom, like Rotom is literally always coming out on Donphan. There's not a turn it doesn't, and in that case I just switch Rotom into the Donphan. If I'm Rindo Berry, then I can live a hit from Ogerpon or Hydrapple if he decides to make that double, in which case Ogerpon is getting burned, Hydrapple is getting hit with a Pain Split, and then I'm switching back out into something like Bisharp. Like, it's definitely not it's a funny interaction there. So I guess that actually kind of spoke me out of that a little bit. I think his team is probably going to be Gardevoir with a Scarf, because I imagine he's going to not want to really deal with a Swords Dance Garchomp too hard. I think he might have Urshifu Single Strike for sure, because look at my team and look at my resist to that. If he decides to do something silly like Swords Dance Metronome, Poison Jab and Iron Head into Clefable, and then read my switch, that could definitely catch me off guard. That's going to catch me off guard. Iron Head's definitely going to be what then? Like a 40... It's probably like closer to like a 65% chance of OHKOing, so that's something I got to keep in mind. He could be doing that to me. So if I were to guess what his team is going to be, I would say Tornadus Therian, because it's just a fast Pokemon that he's going to want to keep around. Urshifu Single Strike, because it just hits my team so unbelievably hard, ignoring Clefable. Tinkaton, because it kind of does well into Garchomp if it's like an Air Balloon Tinkaton, which I think is more than likely going to come. Again, Gardevoir, because it's Scarf, that leaves 2 more Mons. Maybe something like Ogerpon, in case Rotom watches something he thinks is going to be problematic, and Ogerpon could end up sweeping my team if it has the right moves for it. And then probably Pecharunt, because I really can only hit Pecharunt with like Garchomp and Bisharp. Maybe Pecharunt doesn't do enough for him. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with Bisharp. I could see Hydrapple as well coming, but maybe it's too slow. You know, the Dunsparce does have a shot. The more I think about it, I think it might be the Dunsparce. Everything else, I really have a comfortable way of dealing with it. So, being that my breakdown for his team, let's go into mine now. When I was looking at his matchup, I was kind of looking at MELOETTA and being like, wow, she just hits so unbelievably hard. If I can get into Pirouette form, which I think will be actually relatively easy, with this investment, Pirouette form MELOETTA is going to outspeed Tornadus, hitting 352. That's trying to outpace my own Iron Moth, so that's what I'm kind of trying to do. I don't think he's going to anticipate Pirouette form to show up, so I think he might kind of creep my Iron Moth here, being it's obviously not going to be faster than Talonflame. So I'll go to 353 and outpace his Tornadus, which if I do that and I get into Pirouette form, Triple Axle with an Expert Belt is a very, very easy like amount of damage. Other than that, I also obviously have Close Combat just as a powerful nuke button. It's going to hit Tinkaton super hard. It's going to kill Urshifu Single Strike. It's going to kill Dunsparce super easily. Triple Axle is also going to be good for Hydrapple and Ogerpon, maybe Donphan as well if it's not Rocky Helmet, something I do have to at least keep in mind. Relic Song is my special attack, which is actually still valuable. It'll be able to hit Donphan more, powerfully if I don't really want to really deal with triple axle, or if he has Rocky Helmet and I don't want to deal with all that. I would click Relic Song into it more often than not. It's also a decent move into Urshifu's single strike if I'm not terastallized, or if I'm still Meloetta normal form. It's actually like a good damage move into it. I think it's almost a 2-hit KO actually, despite my low investment. It's just Urshifu's special defense is really low. So that's a move I can click into that. And then I decided to go for Shadow Ball instead of Psychic coverage so that I can hit Pecharunt and potentially Gardevoir as well. Gardevoir takes a lot from Shadow Ball, even in Pirouette form, and I don't have a single super effective move outside of that. I wish it had like Poison Jab or a Steel type move, but it doesn't actually get anything to hit Gardevoir outside of Shadow Ball super effectively. So that is my Meloetta set, and I'm super excited to use it. This is like relatively specific bulk that I actually can't remember off the top of my head right now. I think the biggest example is that if I'm in Meloetta right here, I either get 2-hit KO'd by a Scarf Gardevoir Moonblast, or if I'm Terra Fighting, I get 3-hit KO'd if I'm not Terra Fighting, 2-hit KO'd if I am Terra Fighting. Next we have my Rotom set. It's just a normally Fizz Def set. This is kind of just meant to like switch into Urshifu a little bit, maybe tank a hit from it now and then so I can at least get a Will-O-Wisp off. I have enough special attack investment to make it so something like Vaporeon's after Calm Mind, I think I can still break it with a Volt Switch. And I also just like barely do enough damage to like 2-hit KO Tornadus Therian, or something like that. I think it's like a specific amount of investment. And then the speed here, if I'm not mistaken, is so I can outpace a unboosted like Tinkaton. It was something like that. It might also just be that I'm trying to outpace a Pecharunt, going a couple speed stats over, like a Pecharunt anticipating I'm going to creep his Pecharunt. That was probably the idea, but its moveset is pretty standard, so I don't really think I need to talk about it too much. Will-O-Wisp is nice for burns, Pain Split's good for healing. This is an interesting Bisharp set. I am Terra Dark on this. I should have mentioned earlier, by the way, I am obviously Terra Fighting on Meloetta. I'm Terra Dark on Bisharp. Life Orb Throat Chop does 50% to Pecharunt. Sucker Punch, Life Orb, Terra Dark, almost Oko's Gardevoir. It's just really a damage set. I bring it in, I break his entire team. Iron Head with a Life Orb is going to do like 60% to that Tornadus set I showed you earlier. If it's Terra Fairy, obviously it dies. If it's Terra Ghost or Psychic, I just Sucker Punch it and obviously it dies. The main thing that this Bisharp set does really well is if he does bring Pecharunt, I send this into Pecharunt every single time. It forces it to either switch automatically, like it just doubles into Urshifu single strike, or it has to like just switch out. It can't click Parting Shot, which means I get either a Swords Dance boost, or if Urshifu's still around, more than likely just click Iron Head to try and catch it off guard at least one time. It's going to do 50% to Urshifu more most of the time, so that's a very powerful attack into it. But as a standard set, it's just Swords Dance, Life Orb, Bisharp. Clefable is like super standard, so I don't even see the need to talk about it. It's just max Fizz Def, so I can come into Urshifu, hopefully not die to 2 poison jabs, because it's like a 6.3% chance. It already has pretty decent special defense, so I'm not really scared about anything else. It takes Gigaton from Tinkaton if I need to hit it with knockoff for whatever reason. It sets up my Stealth Rocks, which is really nice for the team just because he does have such a bulky team. And then Moonblast is just chip. It's just the move to have. Obviously, it kills Urshifu single strike. For a while, I had Alluring Voice, but I feel like the extra damage that Moonblast offers into something like Tinkaton, Hydrapple, Donphan is actually more valuable than being able to hit through sub. Especially because the Swords Dance boosting Urshifu is actually not even going to be able to hit KO me. Next, we have a Booster Energy Terra Fairy Iron Moth, and I'm not actually a speed booster set this week because it just doesn't need to happen. I naturally outspeed Urshifu single strike if they're going timid. If it's not Scarf, for example, and that's kind of really all I need Iron Moth to do. I could boost myself faster than Tornadus, but I feel like it wasn't really necessary. And then the next Pokemon would be Ogerpon, who never really wants to be on Iron Moth anyways, it never wants to risk a speed tie. Ever. It's just not something it wants to do, and it's not a Terra Captain, so it can't just boost faster than Ogerpon ever, or Iron Moth ever either. So if I don't care about boosting faster than Tornadus because I'm able to tank hits for 1 and 2, it's just not immediately threatening, and I don't need to boost faster than Ogerpon because it's never really going to want to stay in my Iron Moth because it just loses that 1v1 if I ever outspeed it. I can just be faster than Urshifu, and that kind of boosts my special attack sky high, and it gets me like a little bit of bulk as well. but it's a substitute set. So I boost with Fiery Dance. I hit everything really hard with Sludge Wave. I hit Urshifu specifically really with Dazzling Gleam. This set, like, OHKO's a majority of his team. The only ones it doesn't would be like Tornadus, Pecharunt, Vaporeon, Donphan, Dunsparce, and Ampharos. Ampharos isn't something I see coming. Vaporeon and Donphan have niche scenarios, but not something I typically would want to see or think I'll see coming. Pecharunt is a Pokemon that just really struggles with Bisharp, and then the Dunsparce, like, it definitely could come, but it's not like a Pokemon that really screams to me as super duper viable into my team. So this thing is going to hit like an absolute monster. So I'm really excited to use this Iron Moth set. I'm also just literally the most standard Swords Dance loaded dice Garchomp set that I could possibly bring. That's what I'm bringing. It's Scale Shot, Earthquake, Fire Fang, so I can hit Air Balloon Tinkaton, but I'm really never going to click it unless I see Air Balloon Tinkaton. And then Swords Dance, if I have a chance to boost, Swords Dance +2 Fire Fang, goes that Tinkaton set. So that's going to be the team. Let's get into the battle. Hello and welcome everybody to the very first week of the newest WPF season. We have a pretty terrifying opponent here today with Rose. He has Terra Poison Tornadus and Terra Normal Dunsparce. That does imply it's going to be like a Boom Burst type of set. I see no Pecharunt, which is absolutely incredible for MELOETTA. That's actually phenomenal. It's a little frustrating that Tornadus is Terra Poison, but that's okay, I believe. Now, I think Iron Moth, like, leading off with Iron Moth is genuinely not that bad. I kind of want to lead Bisharp, though. No. Let's go Rotom. Tinkaton is always a pretty standard lead. And worst case, nothing's going to be able to OHKO me except for Ogerpon. And Ogerpon can kind of be dealt with by Bisharp. I think Bisharp can be the dedicated Ogerpon check now that Pecharunt is gone. No Hydropple, Vaporeon, or Donphan. Like, MELOETTA goes nuts as soon as Tornadus is dead. He goes stupid. Pearl is Gardevoir. Okay. So it's going to be a Levitating Gardevoir, which is unfortunate. That means Garchomp definitely can't come out. We get the Volt Switch on this and see somehow if it's like maybe not. I mean, it's obviously going to be faster than me. How much does this do though? Gardevoir. Choice Scarf set. A Moonblast will be doing a quite large amount, like 50% to me, potentially. Unfortunately for me, I don't have a great switch in, so I am just going to click Volt Switch. Hopefully I can Pain Split something later. It shouldn't kill if it's Specs. Okay, that's probably Scarfed. Ooh, that's a nasty crit. MELOETTA could come out here immediately. But also Iron Moth, it just switches in, dude. Could do Bisharp, even. He doesn't have a switch in to Iron Head. And it gets me a lot of value. Moonblast isn't ever going to be able to OHKO. And it forces it out if it does want to go for it. So let's go Bisharp. This Iron Head is going to hurt anything that wants to come in. So I think we do just go for that. I imagine he switches. Fearing Sucker Punch, obviously. Cool. That's a nasty Iron Head, especially if he goes into Urshifu. That'll be like 50%. Nasty Iron Head. Big Iron Head. Okay. Genuinely think I should just go for Iron Head again. I don't want to let this thing set up on me at all. I could go Clefable. Clefable forces it out. It forces him to go into like Tinkaton. I think Bisharp still holds decent value, so let's just go Clef. Okay. Slink. Who's Slink? To Dunsparce? I'm okay with that. I'll knock off this. Hell, I'll get Rocks. Rocks are huge right now. It forces Torn to be heavy duty boots or maintain it. I think Knock might be better at first. How beneficial are Rocks really? in the long run, I don't think they are super beneficial. No, they are. He doesn't have any removal. Let's get rocks up. We know we're faster, so we know this doesn't have any speed investment. Boom burst. That hurts. I think I'm okay with just going Bisharp again. Hell, I want to click knockoff. Because that didn't do anything to me. Now, Terra Normal would be unfortunate. But if he goes Terra Normal, then Tornadus doesn't do anything. I just go MELOETTA here. And I click Relic Song. Right? He doesn't Terra Normal. The boots are gone. That's good. I want to get Moonlight recovery. That sounds nice to have. I'm so nervous. That is slightly invested on the Boom Burst. Recovery, please. Okay. We get some recovery here. Bisharp could come out on that pretty comfortably. And it'll get an Iron Head, a powerful one off. I think I want to go Bisharp again. I'm fine with anything, even a Flamethrower should only do like 50%. If it's like max special attack, which I'm pretty sure it isn't, it does like 70% maximum. The main threat would be like Body Press, which I still don't believe is capable of outgoing or getting any sort of KO on me. Ooh, that's a okay. Is it Mordew? Mordew would be unfortunate. It's Kevin. I don't know who Kevin is. Thorn? I'm okay with Thorn. I don't live a Heat Wave super comfortably. That's if it's max special attack, though. Oh, never mind. I don't even... Yeah, I'm never threatened by this. I think we do just click Iron Head again. Because I do have a Pokemon... I don't have anything faster, but I have Clef, and Clef's going to be able to probably revenge after this if it goes for, like, Nasty Plot or something. But who knows? That shouldn't ever kill. Okay. Huge Iron Head. Do I just go for Iron Head again? Or... I think Sucker Punch is fine. Do I outspeed this with anything, though? It's my only thought. If this is like Nasty Plot, I don't want to deal with it. Well, Iron Head. Yes! Okay, huge. That's a big Iron Head. Slink. That is the Dunsparce again. That's taking a lot of shit here. That's a huge crit. Good job, Bisharp, dude. Can MELOETTA come out and click Relic Song on this now? I think it can. We're clicking Relic Song. Wow, Relic Song should always kill, right? Never should it ever not kill. That's definitely less than 20%. That's max BDF I'm calcing against. Terra Normal obviously won't matter. Gardevoir. If it's a Scarfed Gardevoir, it will outspeed and kill MELOETTA, so that's a reason that I should probably just switch out on that. Although a Moonblast for max special attack modest isn't actually a KO, ever. Mordew? Does Urshifu live this? I don't think it does. No, not after the Stealth Rocks. Yeah, dude. That's huge. Earl, let's Gardevoir again. I could justify staying in, but I don't know if I should. Especially if this is Scarfed, that's really unfortunate and annoying. I think I go Rotom and just sack it on something. Like, my thing is that Moonblast shouldn't KO, and he doesn't have any priority, right? If I were to just stay in and click Shadow Ball, maybe? No, I can click Relic Song onto Dunsparce in the future. I would have to click Triple Axle here, which I don't feel very safe doing. Clefable is not super valuable anymore, so I'm okay with just sacking it off against this. I don't really want to deal with a Scarf, is the only thing. Healing Wish would be frustrating, if that's what he goes for. No. Okay. I'm actually okay with that. I can go into Moth and just click Substitute then. Because he doesn't have anything that should be immediately threatening to me. I guess Psychic Noise would be frustrating if that's what he goes for. So maybe I don't bother. If I click Substitute, does Psychic Noise kill? I think it's Scarfed, but I really shouldn't bother. Like, I shouldn't try doing that. If it isn't Scarfed, then I just go MELOETTA and KO. And I think I kind of sweep from there. Or even Chomp. We'll click Sub. Psychic Noise is the only thing that threatens me. Okay. It's Scarfed. That's a crit. Okay. Whew. Fire Dance should always KO. It shouldn't be able to break it with Moonblast. Even a crit. You would need an Uber crit, Giga crit. Also, I just realized I'm glad I switched off of MELOETTA. I was in Pirouette form. My SPDF was lower. So Gardevoir would have KO'd me easily. This will definitely KO the Dunsparce from that range. Oh, did that Rocks kill? No, okay. Ooh, okay. That's gonna be a special attack. No, it's 50% chance. Is it a special attack boost? It's not. Okay. My MELOETTA could have been faster enough, like fast enough, but I think that's only if it's modest. So I am glad that I have my speed investment like I do. He's gonna have to go into Torn. That's not. Is that Torn? Yeah, it's Torn. Okay. Iron Moth. Fire Dance. Oh, I'm not afraid actually. I don't know if Gardevoir. I don't think Psychic from Gardevoir will be able to take out my Iron Moth. He'll have to go for Moonblast and like predict my Terra. And if he goes for Moonblast, I don't actually think I'm afraid. It also depends on if he's Scarfed or not. I'm looking at modest calcs. I'm at 175. If he's modest, a modest Moonblast has a 25% chance to OHKO Iron Moth. So I Terra here, and I just click Fiery Dance again. And then this should always, well, I should always kill Gardevoir, and Gardevoir should never be able to kill me. Because it's not Terra, it can't boost its attack any higher than a Choice Scarf. So the only fear would be if it somehow lives this. Could that kill? Ooh, okay. Okay. We got a game. I don't think so, actually. I think I just go Chomp. Tinkaton. Have I seen Tinkaton yet? I go Hatsune Miku. Do I go Miku? Miku Relic Song. I think to play it safe and just guarantee a victory, I do go Miku. And I click Shadow Ball. Or do I go Rotom? I think I go Rotom. Psyshock shouldn't ever be able to KO. When I click Hydro Pump here, MELOETTA. I feel like MELOETTA would have been the play if Relic Song would KO. But since it doesn't, I don't actually think I accomplish enough. See, that was my initial thought, is that he would switch. I don't want this to be Air Balloon. If I miss, that's fine. Okay, I'm glad. This should always be faster. So, do I just hard switch into Chomp? I think so. The main fear would be like a random Ice Hammer. That's fine. I think I win. Okay. He obviously... Oh, he has another Pokemon. What's his other Pokemon? Oh, it's Ogerpon. I might have thrown. Shoot. I think I sack Rotom to a Moonblast. Then I bring Meloetta in, click Relic Song, and then close combat on Ogerpon. How much did Gardevoir do with Psyshock? Because I had some defense investment on Iron Moth. Not a lot, though, to be fair. Okay, nah, yeah, I got cooked. Even if he was timid. Okay, I probably should have thought about that. This is a lot closer than I think it should have been. Did that matter? That better not have mattered. Okay. Imagine if that mattered, dude. Now, unfortunately, close combat doesn't KO. So I do have to go for triple axle, but as long as I get 2 hits, then we're good. 1, 2, let's go, Meloetta. I'm so happy. Okay, Meloetta getting 3 KOs there. Congratulations, I'm very proud of that. Whew. If that was Scarf, that could have been scary. So he had 2 Scarfs. Okay, a good 2-0 victory on my behalf. That's the first win I've gotten in quite a while. So I'm very proud of myself. GG's to Rose. I think I threw a little bit in the end game there. My end game was very not clean. My Bisharp plays were pretty good. I think he either respected it too much, or I just made good calls. I really don't know which one it would have been. But I'm very proud of myself with that game. I'm glad Meloetta got 3 KOs. I really wanted to use Meloetta this season. Bisharp did an incredible job getting that chip on Urshifu to prevent or to let Relic Song get that KO there. So GG's to Rose. I'm very proud of my team. Very proud. His team was a threat, but I think him letting his Pokemon get weakened a little too fast meant that Terra Poison on Tornadus wasn't really the big benefit that it could have been. what do I think he could have done differently that would have been like more threatening, in my opinion? Vaporeon was kind of a little bit of an issue. Rotom was definitely a good Pokemon that could always switch into it, but at the same time, if it just flips out, then it always pivots back out into something like maybe Ogerpon or Hydrapple, which forces my Rotom to switch. Probably should have been Rindo in hindsight with Rotom. I think I was leftovers. Rindo might have been better on Rotom to allow something like, you know, allowed me to burn Ogerpon, or maybe get a powerful pain split off on Hydrapple to weaken it really considerably. So GG's to Rose, and I will see you all in the next video. See you later. Bye bye.